today, January 29th, 2020, I am a goat herder. I'm herding my goats. And today they needed some time in the sun. So here they are. It's a lovely winter's day. And it's a lovely spot to live. No matter what happens, it was a good experience to live in this idyllic little gem of a location, you know. There's a lot squeezed into a rather, compact area. Yeah. I'd be very happy to keep living here. This barn is great. It's I would say that's a big upgrade. And this is a perfect little sun trap down here. I think this is actually quite ideal. It's already optimized to the topography and the weather conditions. I don't think you could improve on it much for the location and layout. Maybe glaze this concrete pad, turn it into a solarium since it's already here. Why not? Hey, come on.
So what do you want to do with the rest of your life?
I want to keep goats. I want to be a goat keeper and, make the world a better place. Why not? Try to figure out how to squeeze some joy out of all this insanity that I observe from a distance, but live in the middle of it. Participate with it on a day-to-day basis, but doesn't make it any less insane. They're bonkers. They're just the whole group of them. The whole mass of humanity is, just caught in a fantasy of its own making, its own devise. People are choking on the poisons created by their own mind, which have then manifested in the environment and then entered their bodies and wow. As they say, the planet has a mind of its own. And every part of the planet also has a mind of its own. So that's a lot of minds that all need to be hooked up, coordinated, and somehow accounted for. It's a massive amount of programming. A huge amount of data has to be assimilated.
Still doesn't answer my question as to what you want to do with the rest of your life.
I want to be able to stand in the sun on a chilly day at the end of January and enjoy my surroundings because they're so beautiful, and go Fifi. That's a plug. What they call product placement, a brand. Yeah, the birth of a brand. Yeah, you better trademark it already. And the other things I want to do with my life from here on, from this moment on, is just enjoy the hell out of it. Whatever shows up.
Do you feel strong and free?
Sometimes, yes. Not all the time. Sometimes I feel a weakness in body and in spirit. And then I'm not free. Yeah. But sometimes, yes. I do feel strong and free. And those are the good moments that I want to increase and decrease the other experiences where I don't feel strong and free. But I'm happy to live in a country that I know is strong and free. And Canada does have a future. It will be around for quite a while. So we might as well do it right. Take our time and build good foundations, and then what comes after will last. If the foundations aren't good, then eventually the structure will collapse and it'll have to be redone by somebody else. Everything is perfect. So that leaves nothing to be done or said about it. Just to admire its perfection. Oops, that went by. Now we're back to the imperfect world that we're modifying to turn it into something closer to the perfection that we see is already there. So it's a bit of a paradox. If you don't believe in the ultimate perfection of your experience, then it's very difficult for you to feel your way forward, because it's the perfect which is drawing us and pulling us towards itself. That which is already perfect is not in need of any fix or any regeneration or anything, because it's already all of everything. There's nothing missing, nothing is out of place, everything is exactly as it should be. So that's a fundamental belief that experience exists simultaneously with the experience that none of this is staying still. The whole enterprise is changing. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter at what part of reality you look at. You just merely looking at it already changes it. So nothing will stay as it is, and it doesn't matter if you're an atom, an electron, a molecule, an amino acid, a one-celled creature, or the king of creation, like ourselves. You're all subject to this imperative that it all is changing. It must change. There is nothing but change. So how do we figure out where we're going if there's nothing to hold on to which is solid? And we all know from quantum physics that the solidity is more of an illusion than a reality, but it's a serviceable illusion, and it enables us to do all kinds of fantastic things. But if you start looking at it too closely, you soon discover that it's more of an illusion than a solid object. But whatever, we just have to get on with our lives in spite of the fact that there's what we think is real isn't real, and what we think is unreal is actually real. So that's the most real part of our experience, is that which we're not experiencing. Does that make any sense? I'm going to carry on with my day and have lunch.
I thought this was your day.
Yes, this is my day. Today of all days. Yep. It's the fabulous 29th of January in the year 2020. A whole new decade to mess up. Think about it. Think how screwed up the 2010s were, and all the things that went wrong and failed to happen, and look where we are now with President Donald Trump. Who would have guessed that he would succeed in his ambitions to be the ruler of all, the King of America? Excuse me, I do need to blow my nose.
Seems appropriate. Is there hope, honey?
There is, of course. Of course there's hope. It's hope that is creating the reality that we live in. So we're never without hope. However, it could get pretty unpleasant alongside the fact that we have hope. We still have this other experience that we are having to go through because there it is. So this girl's got babies, certainly 2 or more. She had 3 last time, right? Not sure about Carmen, but her milk was way down this morning. So, they're not that happy with the second bale, the second cut. It's not as tasty as the other bale. I'm feeding it out now, so I'll save the better stuff for later. Yes, I'm very hopeful. In fact, I'm optimistic that out of this mess and chaos and disintegration will come something way better. And once we get through this kind of squeeze, it's a bit of a squeeze right now that civilization is going through. Well, we're going through it too, yes. But if you want to drag everybody else into the future, you do have to kind of have a hold of them. And if you have a hold of them, you are attached to them. So there is an element that insists that we be attached to the world around us in a lot of ways, and then do our best to yank all of that momentum into the future where we're already living. So we're just time travelers in a way, trapped in our own past.
That's why Kofifi is so important to save the world.
It is, absolutely. If people would just start feeling good, everything would be okay. Really. I know it sounds delusional, but go for it. Just feel good. Feel good. Feel great. Feel fantastic. Feel like, wow, this is the best moment ever.
But sweetie, I need a reason to be happy. And if I don't have a reason, then I refuse to be happy.
Well, I'm happy because I'm scratching a goat, And that's making the goat happy too.
And this is how you create heaven on earth?
Yeah. One goat at a time. Whatever gets your attention will grow, or thrive. If you're passing on the juice, or it'll wither. if you're taking more than you're giving. I think I've done like an enormous amount of physical labor since we moved here.
Oh my God, and I have hours of footage to prove it.